All right, guys. So I am definitely back. We just went through the Stadia Connect, and I'm back here live streaming. And I wanted to go ahead and kind of break down every single game, take anybody's questions if they have it, and we'll just kind of dive straight into this. And so I am definitely excited to kind of cover some of this stuff. So with the very first and the biggest announcement we have is Cyberpunk 2077. Now, if you guys don't know about this game, you absolutely should. This is one of the most exciting games to come out in probably a decade for a ton of people. I am looking forward to this game more than anything that I've looked forward to since I think the newest Fallout back years ago, and that's just because I'm a big Fallout fan. So if we look at a whole new franchise, there's been nothing quite as exciting as Cyberpunk 2077. So let me just kind of go through this little trailer here, but this is absolutely awesome, and I'm so happy to see this. Let me go ahead and lower my volume just a little bit. But Cyberpunk 2077 coming to Stadia. This is a huge get for them. And wow. Just wow. And you know, there's one of the things that I have to mention too, and one of maybe the underrated things, is that the fact that this game is going to be coming out and it's going to be played on a powerful PC somewhere and then being streamed to the cloud to yourself. So you're going to be able to play this in a good quality setting. Especially, I'd love to see this in the 4K setting, but I mean, there's some computers that are not going to... This is a great game to get because there's going to be a lot of people who are not going to be able to even play the minimum specs. If you have a PC, if you don't own one of the consoles, this is one of the biggest games that they're getting, and it's very impressive. So we're going to go ahead and kind of keep going through here. So we got Cyberpunk 2077, and by far the biggest thing, probably the biggest game to announce it. That's probably why they started off with that one. They went and came in hot on that one. All right, here, let's see. So the next game we got Destiny 2. We already know all about Destiny 2. This one's coming out. All right, let me go and jump into the next one. I apologize, guys. So this one, what is this one? This one's about... What did they call this game? Let me see if I can check this out. So when I saw this, I was definitely very indifferent to it. It doesn't look like much. So it's a 3D platforming game. I think it's called Kind, right? I didn't get to see a name. And I have no I have no comments. It looks a little too slow for the type of games that I like. I'm not sure if it's like in a puzzle format. It's like a 3D puzzle format. It's not too impressive. It kind of looks like a game that could be on your phone, if I'm being honest. So definitely not too excited to see that. But let's jump into the next game. So this one is one that I'm definitely excited for. So it's called Kine with E. Darksiders. So we got Darksiders Genesis, and for me, this is one that completely excites me. Honestly, a lot of people are probably going to look at me sideways, but this is easily my most second anticipated game from this Connect. This and maybe Watch Dogs Legion, but this for me, I am a huge ARPG fan, and it's good to have a Diablo-type game. Now, this doesn't look like the normal Diablo-type games where you kind of see loot everywhere, so that's a little bit of a bummer. But for some reason, I don't know what it is about the top-down, third-person action games, but I totally get into these. It's like my favorite genre, really. So I was definitely excited to see this one come out for Stadia, this one getting announced. So for me, this was the second game, and we'll be definitely covering this on the channel. And the good thing about these types of games, and I was mentioning as the Connect was live, is that this brings people together. This is more multiplayer games, and that's always a good thing. What's up, Mateus? How's it going? We're just covering the Connect right now, man, and just kind of going through it. And And yeah, so this one's exciting. I'm looking at it right now. It just looks good. The only thing that turned me a little off from this game is the platforming. I don't like platformings in my top-down third-person action games, but this is a great get for Stadia, in my opinion. And maybe it's just on me on a personal level since I love these types of games. So we'll see. I don't know when the release date is for this game. That'd be nice to know, but it's good to see it coming out for Stadia. So let's jump here forward. So this is the one I was talking about a little bit towards the end of the live. Orcs Must Die. Matthias, how's it going, man? If you have any questions, go ahead and hit me up. Just kind of covering game by game. So Orcs Must Die 3. Now, one thing that kind of, when he said that interested me, and I thought, wow, that's really smart, is knowing that it's a Stadia exclusive and the fact that you're always, see, that's the thing. When you, and I'm looking at it from a PC gamer perspective, when you build a game from the scratch for a game that's going to be on the PC, you have to take account into the fact that a lot of people are not going to have good PCs. So you have to build the game knowing that the lower half of the people who don't have like the minimum specs, and then you have to build for the people who are going to have like the very best. And so you almost have to kind of make a wide range, which I think why developers and publishers kind of prefer consoles to make it to consoles. But what I liked him saying was that he's going to be that they're going to make this game knowing that it's basically just going to be on those Google Stadia powerful servers. So you can build a game knowing that it's always going to be on that, and all you have to worry about is making the game work beautifully in 1080 or in 4K. So I think that was definitely cool to see and hear, and it made me think to myself, man, the possibilities of exclusives for Stadia is going to be awesome. So this was cool to see. Let's jump into the next game. Orcs Must Die is definitely a interesting game too because it's tower defense, and it looked fun. So this game looked like God, I can't remember that game that I played on the Switch. This doesn't look too great. This one it looks more exciting than that Kind game, but I don't have much to say about this one. This looks like another, like, I hate to say it, but kind of looks like a phone game. So Darksiders has a 2019 release date. Okay, so that's good to know. I didn't realize when Darksiders was coming out. So yeah, Darksiders coming out 2019 is one we're gonna be, if it's gonna be on Stadia, we'll be covering it. So I'm excited to play it. We'll have videos up for that. Anything brand new is gonna be covered on this channel. So this was the what was the name of this game? This was like Humans Must Die or something like that. This one looked good. So I'm just like listening to the trailer. This one looks like a fun game. Looks like a solid game. I'm looking at the UI. It looks really good. Destroy all humans. There it is. Coming to Stadia. So this one looked like a fun one. I haven't heard much about this one, but THQ Nordic is a great publisher, so hopefully we'll be seeing some good stuff there. Mortal Kombat 11, another awesome game that's going to be on Stadia. I've played quite a bit of Mortal Kombat, mostly the story mode. Mortal Kombat's an excellent game. Played it on the Switch, so we're going to see nicer graphics, nicer everything on Stadia. So this will be fun to see. This is an excellent game. If you guys haven't played it and you're interested in Mortal Kombat, seeing it on Stadia is going to be a lot of fun. So it's a good one. Let's jump to the next game. This one looked good. It said it had all sorts of awards. I don't know about all that, but this one looks like a fun game. This is going to be interesting to see. Hopefully this is like a $20 game though, because it doesn't look like it's worth more than that. The Stadia needs some indie type games and games that are a little cheaper. You can't have all $60 games. We definitely need some cheap ones, some good ones that you can play on your phone or your tablet. So this looks like one of those types of games. See, with a game like this, though, I don't think I could play it on a super hot. I don't think I can play it on a controller, though. We got Farming Simulator. This is another thing that I was mentioning during the Connect. This one is one that we're going to want on the Stadia because you need to have a wide-ranging games. You need to have games that are a little bit more relaxed, a little more chill. We can't have all action-packed games, so it's good to see them kind of branch a little bit and diversify with a game like this. So I have no problem with this. Now, this franchise has been running forever, so there's people who play it. I've never played it myself, but why not cover it on Stadia. So maybe this will be the first time we actually cover. I personally cover myself Farming Simulator 19. It looks interesting. I do play the what are those games called on the 3DS? Those I do play those games from Natsume and all those. I can't. It's the top of my. It's like the tip of my tongue right now. I can't remember those games, but not an actual simulator, farming simulator. That's kind of on a different level. Is this Attack on Titans? No, this is that one action fighting game. Another solid title. Will be interesting to see. I think what I'm interested to see too is how Google Stadia itself is going to run on a lot of these games. And I think that was one of the things that I had on my mind throughout the whole Connect was we have a lot of fast-paced games here, and it's going to be interesting to see if people all across the board are going to have stable connections and stable gameplay, because all these games require a lot of reflex. We got another, I think this was Grid. I never got to play Grid, but hopefully we'll be able to cover this one too. It'd be interesting. I know I've heard good things about Grid. I think last time I checked, I don't know, it was about 2 years ago. Grid's typically highly rated game, so this will be a fun one to check out. I'm gonna jump in here. We got is this Attack on Titans? This one's an interesting game. Looks fun. This is another good get. It's just another solid game, and it's a different type of game, and that's not a bad thing. Let's keep jumping around. There's one game I kind of want to talk a little bit about. This is the one I want to talk about. Super Hot is a lot of fun. It costs €22 on Steam, so it'll probably cost around the same as Stadia. Okay, cool. So that makes sense. That's what I was saying too, Matthias, that we gotta have some cheaper games on here, because almost every game that's like on the list, with the exception of those two games that kind of look like cell phone games to me, you gotta have some more indie games. So, but I could see them, like, if there's more indie games coming, I could see them not covering that necessarily on a Connect. So I'm hoping to see a lot more indie games. Indie games are pretty huge. It's definitely one of the successes to something like the Nintendo Switch. So having a lot, like, the Nintendo Switch is just full of indie games. And those are the types of games that kind of keep people on a steady pace and keeping up on the platform. So we want to see more indie games for sure. And like you said, Super Hot is definitely one of those. So this is the game that I want to talk about personally, because I'm a huge MMORPG fan. I've been playing them since 2004. And one of the biggest questions that I personally have had is whether there are going to be any MMORPGs coming to Stadia, because this is huge genre where it keeps people on a platform. So now the possibilities of playing, let me go ahead and rewind this a little bit. The possibilities of playing a MMORPG on a more portable device is something that's very, very appealing, I think, to a lot of MMORPG fans. And we're talking about a high-quality device. Now, for instance, the Nintendo Switch recently just got DCUO, and I was even just a tiny bit excited for a game that came out back in 2011. So this is good to see, because you will be able to play something like this possibly portably. And for me, that's always been kind of my dream, and I bet it's been a lot of other people's dreams. Like I said, I got excited for DCUO, and that game is old now, and it's a solid title, but there's some games out there like this one, Final Fantasy, World of Warcraft, I'd like to see come to Stadia. So good to see this come be the first one. I haven't played it myself. We'll see if we can play this one on the channel. This one's a little bit of a different breed, but to see an MMORPG is awesome. And on top of that, you're going to end up being with the PC player base, I think. So that's a positive, but I could be wrong, since this game is also out on the consoles. So very excited to see this come to Stadia. I only played it a little bit, so I can't speak to how good it is or how fleshed out it is. I've mostly played World of Warcraft, and what else have I played the last couple of years? Final Fantasy, I've messed with that one, so this is a solid one. So very excited. Let's continue forward. We got Bethesda 2. Borderlands 3, I think, is easily top 3 for me. What got announced today. Borderlands 3 is one of those games that will be able to bring players together, having, like it said there, like the song, and just having another solid multiplayer title like this is excellent. The only thing is Borderlands 3 is going to be coming out here in a month, and by the time maybe Stadia releases, I feel like maybe there'll be maybe a little less hype behind Borderlands 3, which is the only thing. So hopefully Borderlands 3 is able to come out right as Stadia comes out. And Borderlands 3 is awesome. This is just awesome. It's an awesome franchise, and I couldn't recommend it more. Oh, did it really launch on the Nintendo Switch today? No kidding. Super hot? I didn't know that, Mateus. Thank you for that. I'm actually kind of shocked by that. We're gonna have to check that out. But all right, let's jump into another game. Borderlands 3 is an excellent game, and excited to see it. And we're getting towards the end of this. So this one's the one that this is the first time I saw a trailer for it, and this looks really good. And this is excellent because this is what we want to see. We want to see these big third-party games coming out with their games right on launch with Stadia, and it coming out on Stadia at launch as well as other platforms. So this is a good one and a huge one, and it's a brand new one and one that can build hype when it comes out next month or next year. And the thing about it is, by then, March, I think we should be seeing everybody have the access to the base Stadia model of the 1080 base. So yeah, so this is going to be a huge one, and I'm excited for this to see it. We'll be covering it on the channel. This is probably the only way we're gonna play this. We're gonna play it on Stadia, so I'm not gonna personally buy this on anything else. So this will be a fun one to see. And I was just looking at the gameplay, and I'm like, oh, this is really cool theme. You can recruit anybody, and everybody has their own special build, and you can come up with a team. So this is really cool to see on Stadia. And yeah, so that's pretty much the breakdown. I don't know if I have anything else to add. Pretty much just covered every single game that come out. I think the biggest takeaway I can say from everything from today is that Stadia's, if people are worried that Stadia is not going to come out with good games and games that, you know, won't be good enough for the platform or anything along those, I think this is just further proof that Google's definitely making the effort to get as much as they can and as high quality as they can. I do, like I said, want to see some more indies. And maybe they have because I know like Nintendo, when they do their Connects, they'll do like an indie Connect. So maybe something along those lines. You want to see those types of games. So it's good to see, like, this makes me not worried about like the big third-party games, knowing that a bunch of these are going to be hopefully coming. We're going to see more announcements. I mean, we're only in August, so there should be more games coming out. So hopefully this helps people kind of ease their worries if there isn't going to be enough big games coming out to Stadia, because you got to think about it. A lot of people are going to be now investing in a whole new platform, and for them to hopefully feel a little better seeing, I know some people, I think I saw somebody in the comments earlier that said they were a little disappointed. Personally, I'm not disappointed. I'm not trying to be a fanboy or anything along those lines. I think for me, this kind of showed that there's definitely going to be investment in that infrastructure and all the games and all that. So it's good to see. Thoughts on Kine? What's up, Matthew Richards? I didn't think Kine looked very good, if I'm being honest. There's the two games that I said that didn't look good. I went through every one of the games. Kine does not look too great. So yeah, that's all I can say. It looked like a phone game, man, and it just looked boring. I'm just being honest. I don't want to fanboy everything, right? I'm not a fanboy at all, if I'm being honest. I'm excited about Stadia, but knowing that, you know, it's still not launched yet. We still got to see a lot of things that come out, a lot of things to test out. So, and we'll be doing that on the channel. So if you guys aren't followed, definitely sub to the channel and stay tuned. We're going to be covering almost every game on this channel. So there's no reason not to be subbed if you're interested in Stadia, because this is going to be the place to be. Not only that, for the most part, on all the Stadia exclusives, I'm going to be doing reviews, personal reviews, and I got a lot of experience doing a lot of game reviews on my other channel. So I'm going to be doing some very extensive game reviews on Guilt and now Orcs Must Die 3. So it's going to be exciting. But yeah, Matthew coming in, the thoughts on Kine. But all right, guys, I'm going to hop off. That's going to be it for me. Went over every single game. There's more, for me personally, more enthusiasm, more hope. This was going to be, for me personally, a big day to see what Stadia was going to be able to pull off, if they were going to show some decent stuff, because I know a lot of people are worried. They're like, well, there's not really enough to look at. But to me, I think today showed that they're going to be coming out with some good stuff, and to have a little bit more faith. So this definitely eased my tension, my anxiety about possibly not seeing anything too solid, but there was a lot of solid stuff today for me personally. So, but that's going to be it for me, guys. Thank you for coming on. I appreciate it, Matthias and Matthew, and this VOD will go up so other people can check it out. But you guys have a good one. Take care. And if there's any questions, let me know in the comments. We're going to do some more of these live podcasts soon as well. And yeah, so we can connect with all you guys. But have a good one, guys. Peace.